everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike. I am so happy that you're here today. Today we're going to be doing another episode of What Are You Knitting or Crocheting? And I believe we're to episode number 28, I believe. And today I have one finished project and one whip to share with you. And then I have 5 people who have been willing to share their projects here with all of us. And then what I ask you guys to do is I ask you guys to share down in the comments below what you currently might be knitting or crocheting. And also I want to put a little special twist on this. This is the time of year we start thinking about Christmas projects. If you're starting to think about what am I going to make for Christmas projects, if you have some great ideas, put them down in the comments below so we can read about that and draw inspiration from you all. Because I know I'm drawing a little bit of a blank on what I'm going to do for Christmas this year. So, and now is the time to get started, right? So the first thing I'm going to share with you guys is a whip. I just started this, so I haven't gotten very far. I did share this in my members video. This is a top, a knitted top, and this is what I've done so far. This is the neck. It's starting with a split neck. It's going to look kind of like this. It'll be down like this. It'll have a little bit of a V, and then it'll start to join, and it'll be seamless, and I'll be knitting in the round all the way down to the bottom of the top. This top pattern is called the Radian Yoke pattern. It looks a little bit like this. See if I can show it without, and the pattern is by Wendy Bernard. She has a lot of really cute tops that I would love to make, but this is my first knitted top that I've ever made. And I think I did make a knitted sweater for a baby once, but I've never made anything for an adult. I am using, let's start with the yarn. I'm using Classic Elite Firefly yarn. This is what it looks like. And this is what the label looks like. Classic Elite Firefly yarn. It's 75% viscose, 25% linen. It's a very soft, it feels a little stiff, but I know that once you wash this, it softens up, and it's already been feeling a lot softer as I work with it. This color is a number. It's 7719, and I believe it's Padua, but it's a pale pink, as you can see. I believe that's the name. And this is a sport weight yarn, so it's a sport weight is a little bit thicker than fingering, but not quite as thick as DK. It's kind of in that middle, in the middle of those two. This is what the thread looks like on my finger, if you guys can see that. And it's going along very nicely. This is the top of this starts with great garter stitch, and then it goes into all this Turkish stitch lace, and you do this for several rounds. And once you do that, then you, like I said, you connect it, and that finishes up the neck, and then you just do you have to separate for the sleeves and then do the rest of the top. It's really simple. The rest of the top's going to be stockinette stitch, and when you do that on a circular needle, all you're doing is knitting. You're just knitting the whole way down, so it should be pretty easy once I get to that point. This is just some simple increases and then doing the Turkish stitch. I think I'm about halfway done with this part. One of the things I didn't mention is I did do a gauge swatch for this. I did a video clip. I will insert that here. Since I'm not that versed in making wearables, I want to try to do something a little bit simpler first and then go from there. I've had this yarn for a while. It's recommended to use a Classic Elite Firefly yarn. And anyway, I'm going to say a word not very many knitters or crocheters like. Kind of like a little dirty word, but I did a swatch. I don't normally do swatches, but for when you're doing a wearable, I think it's very important for you to do a swatch, because this is a fitted item, unless you want something that's really loose and just flowy, but this I want to be a little bit more fitted. So the recommended yarn needle size for this is a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter needle, and that's what I started out with. I'm doing a US 5, and I did a swatch, and this is what my swatch looks like. Basically, I just you can do the swatch. They recommend you can do it either in, there's a Turkish stitch in here. You can do your swatch in the Turkish stitch, and they have a gauge measurement for that, or you can do it in stockinette. So I decided to do it in stockinette. And I just cast on like 30 something stitches or 35, and the gauge is 22 stitches and 28 rounds for 4 inches in stockinette stitch. And so I cast on more than that, and I knit it in stitches, and then I started out in garter stitch at the bottom, as you can see, and then I was like, oh, this has to be stockinette. So then I went into stockinette, and that's what that looks like. And my gauge ended up being 20 stitches by 29 rows, and the gauge for the that they recommend for this should be 22 stitches and 28 rounds in 4 inches in stockinette stitch, and mine is 20 stitches to 29 rounds, and so I think that's pretty close. I could, if I wanted to make it a little bit, basically, if I wanted to get to that 22 stitches, I could take it down a needle size, make it a little bit smaller, so that I get more stitches per inches. So I could try to do a US 4 a needle, but I think I'm going to just stick with this one because I do like my tops to be a little bit loose. And it's not going to be that loose with it being, instead of being 22 stitches, it's 20 stitches. So I don't think it'll be that much bigger. So I'm just going to stick with the US 5. That's what my swatch looks like. And I wanted to show it and document it. And now I'm going to move on to the process of starting the top. You start at the top and then you come down around, and it is seamless construction, which that's what I wanted to do for my first knitted top and for me. And let's just see how it goes. But I wanted to document my swatch, and then I'm going to rip this out and use the same yarn for my top. So that was kind of interesting for me to do a gauge swatch, but since this is a top and I don't want it to be something that I waste my time on, it is important for you to evaluate the gauge. And fortunately for me, it kind of worked out where I am using the yarn that they recommend for the pattern, so that's a little bit easier, and I just tested it with the needle size they recommended, and I got pretty close to the gauge. And hopefully next time I do one of these, I'll have a little bit more done. But this is the fun part for me, the lace, and then we'll get into the knit, and hopefully that will go quickly. I hope. Hopefully it can be something also that you can do while you're watching TV or listening to videos on YouTube like mine or some other creator. The other thing that I have to show you is a finished project, and you guys have seen this before. This pattern was started and inspired by Bev of Ditmer Knittery. She was doing her How I Felt and Make the Bag project 2021, where she did a felted bag, and she had 2 different patterns. She inspired me to try to felt something and to make a bag. I've never made a bag before, and then once I got to thinking about it, I kind of wanted to make something a little bit bigger than what her bags were for her project. So I ended up making the Kureyon Scraps tote bag. This pattern's by the Twisted Knitter, and I had the Kureyon wool, which is in the worsted weight yarn, and that's what I used for my project. and I just finished this, and this is what it looks like. I wanted to make it bigger. I ended up making it a little bit bigger than what the pattern called for, and then I had these handles that are store-bought. These handles are this brand, designed by Wendy, and I bought these off of Amazon. They were not that expensive, and so that's what I used. And I made the bag, and this is a really simple design, and like I said, I believe this was 80 rows, but I think I added like 5 more rows. This ended up being 16.5 inches this way tall before I felted it, and after I felted it, it ended up being 12 inches this way. So I will tell you this, I was going to try to do it Bev's way with the soap and the scrubbing and all that, and good for my arms. And after I did this, I just, like I said, I haven't been great the last few days. This pattern recommends trying it in the washing machine. So I was like, that sounds more my speed. So I put this in a zippered pillowcase, which is what they recommend, like for your lingerie. And then it says to protect your washing machine from excess fiber. So I did that, and I added a couple of towels in there. It said to use some old jeans or something to help with the felting. And then I just put it on a hot wash with some wool wash. And I had to do this twice, but as you can see, this actually felted. It probably could have withstood one more wash to make my stitches be a little bit less. I can still see the stitches, but I like the look of it. As you can see, it is felted. I think you can see that. It felted really nicely. I did it twice, like I said, and then after it was done, I just let it dry. And I like being able to see a little bit of the stitch definition on my bag. Feels great. I let it dry, and then all I did was I added the handles. And now I have this really cool project bag for my projects that I made. So I'm excited about using that. And again, that's what it ended up looking like. Here, let me hold it with the handles. That's what it looks like. So super cute. I'm glad that's done, and I can use that for my projects. All right. So now we're to the point where I'm going to share what you guys are making, and like I said, I have 5 different people who have submitted things for me to share. The first one that allowed me to share projects is Angela Wright, and she is working on a test knit pattern, and she has permission from the designer to share this, but this pattern is called the Transition Zone Cardigan by Knitwise Design. This test is being run on Ravelry in our own group, and Angela is using a Plymouth yarn homestead tweed in the color 524, which is a burgundy with tan and black tweedy bits. She's using a US 5 to knit to gauge, but she's a loose knitter. It's a bottom-up cardigan knit in pieces. She's finished the back, 2 pocket linings, 1 sleeve, and about 1/3 way on the second sleeve. She did the sleeves and the pocket linings early, but did part of it as her gauge swatch and the rest because she didn't want to be on Sleeve Island. I totally understand that. She says the darker photo is the more true to life color for her for this project. And I must say the texture on this top is beautiful. Really nice. I hope that you'll come back and share the finished item with us, because that's looking really beautiful. The next person to share with us is Dorit Pinto. Dorit has been working on items, gifts for her family, and she's been making a lot of knitted socks, which I just love. All of these, I love all the different, seeing all the different colors. She's been really busy. I mean, look at all these socks she's made for her family. She's also been crocheting hats and raffia, and these are really beautiful. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to crochet a hat before. I have, back when I first started to crochet, and getting the brim just right and the shape of the hat sometimes is not easy at all. Plus, she's using raffia, which I'm going to show a picture of that. This is it's not yarn. It's kind of like a corn silk. I don't know what to describe it as, but it's like a papery material, and I can't imagine crocheting with it. I know I have some in my stash, and I've never figured out what to use it for, but these look beautiful, Dorit, and you have mastered making crochet hats, and she said that her family loves them. I can see why. So thank you for sharing that with us. The next person to share with us is Trisha Withrow, and again, she shared last time, she has a new channel called Great Skeins, so go check out her channel. Here today she is sharing the butterfly stitch shawl by Fiber. The pattern's by Fiber Spider, whom we all know and love here on YouTube. She's using a Hobby Lobby clearance yarn, ice cream yarn in lemon, and this is so pretty. I love this. It's nice. It's bright. I love yellow shawls. I think they turn out really pretty, and I know when I've used yellow, not a lot, but when I've knit with it or crocheted with it, it makes me happy for some reason. It does brighten your day. So this is a beautiful shawl. Thank you for sharing that with us and giving us some inspiration to go check out Fiber Spider's designs. The next person to share with us is my friend David Goforth. He has an Instagram channel called GoforthandKnit, and my friend David's a very talented knitter. He has been making these really adorable bears and on commission, and I'm going to show you a couple of them. I encourage you to go check out his Instagram channel. Again, that's called GoForthandKnit, because he has some of these bears pictures there, and they have a whole story of who they are. Now, this first bear is this little pink sparkly bear. Her name is Amber Lynn, and she's a Southern Belle from North Carolina. And if you want to read more about her, go read her story on his Instagram page. But I love the fact that he makes all of these. They're all handmade. He creates their outfits. He creates their whole story, their whole life. And it's just shows how creative he is, and they're really, really cute. So if you're interested, he also does them on commission. So might be a nice Christmas gift for one of your family or friends. The other bear I want to show here, this is Brooklyn, and she's a self-described not girly girl, and her favorite color is rainbow, as you can see by her outfit, and she is just adorably cute as well. And then the last one that I'm going to share is a bear couple. I didn't see their story on Instagram, but I'm sure David would share it with us if we asked him to. And these are really cute, David. Thank you for sharing these with us. I've loved them from the first time I saw them on your Instagram. So I appreciate your sharing them here and letting us see your talents and your creativity, and even hearing the backstory behind them, which is amazing. The last person to share with us here today is our Handmade Designs. She has some new patterns out that she is willing to share with us. It's a knit poncho pattern, and then she has a crochet poncho pattern, so she hasn't forgotten either one of the groups, knit or crochet. And then she also has a crochet scarf, and they're all so beautifully done, beautifully lacy. I love the crochet scarf pattern. She gave me the knit poncho pattern, and I'm excited about making that. And I believe she's going to be selling these after she gets some test knit behind her. I'm not sure of that, but just keep your eyes open. Go check out her channel, Handmade Designs. And again, she's been working very hard on these, and I think they look amazing. And thank you so much for sharing them here with us today. I believe that's all. So you guys know what to do. You guys know to share your makes with us down in the comments below, and let us know what you guys have been working on, or what you're thinking of working on if you haven't been able to work on anything in a while. What is your next project going to be, or what are you going to make for Christmas, or just share with us anything. Or if you've been buying yarn, let us know what yarn you've been buying. We just want to connect with you and learn what you've been up to the last few weeks. So thank you for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it. If this is your first time to watch one of my videos, I think I talk about knitting and crochet, and we'd love to have you join us. For those of you who are here time and time again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You all mean the world to me. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.